Alright, so we've set up today to try and explore this concept of the Open Graph in a more meaningful way, because what we've been doing with our work with film studios internationally, we're beginning to see a lot of interesting opportunities to get to know your users in a much richer way, as John alluded to in his presentation. But first off, one of the things that sort of really spiked my interest in Facebook when I first got going was was this simple graph here, and this gives you an interface available within Facebook. And so, this represents a huge area of opportunity for reaching out to your customers, because as we know, there are 40 million Facebook users in the UK alone. So, as John also mentioned, a lot of the brands that we're dealing with, they have this tale of the unknown user. It's when we talk to the majority of the film studios, the most they seem to be capturing right now is the email address and where that user came from, and that's pretty much as far as the database goes back from the user. So that in itself represents to figure out who these people are. And then we've been doing a lot of reading, and this chap, Paul Adams, is someone that we generally tend to follow quite a lot. He's the experiential manager for Facebook, and I do recommend that you get his book. It'll take you an afternoon to finish, but it'll give you a very, very good insight into what's coming out of Facebook in the future. And he makes one very, very clear point, which is compounded through the book, that as we encounter more information, more points of decision, there's more analysis paralysis going on. And so our brains are only really capable of adapting to 2 or 3 choices at a time. And therefore, what we generally tend to do as human beings is refer on to people who have experience, our friends, in different areas before we go ahead and make purchases, or decide to read something, or go to the cinema. And what we're finding with Facebook is that will increasingly happen online. This idea of getting around the campfire and swapping experiences and then making decisions from there will be happening as an online event. So, as we know, there's, the Open Graph was really sort of put out there at the F8 in 2011. A lot of new apps were created out of that. One of the ones you may have seen was Spotify. They've been using things like the ticker and the timeline within Facebook to great effect, and it's allowed them to really ramp up the number of users that they had in the US. But bear in mind that if you can get a user to click that Facebook Connect button, it doesn't matter what platform it's on. You could be launching a mobile service for one of your customers, or you could be doing a connected TV device, or a website, or a fan page app. The fact of the matter is, once you get that user to log in by clicking app install or Facebook Connect, you've essentially got access to their social graph. So, this is a critical screen in the user journey. And a lot of people have a lot of negative feelings towards apps. And I think it's very important that we address this first off, because a lot of permissions calls that are given by major brands apps can be tweaked and adjusted to improve conversion rates going forward. And it's based on very basic human psychology. In the old days, 2 years ago, 3 years ago, apps had a really, really poor reputation on Facebook because of this idea of forced posting. You didn't know what you were giving away, and the apps were making, and some of them were really, really spamming and pushing the word out and trying to get away with it. That, I think, has led to a certain level of apprehension. But as you see, and this is why, and this is an example of very badly constructed questions. The level of details you're giving away there, this is going to be, this is just basically not going to convert. And then you back it up with other things like this, the other application systems that your application can be asking
recommend that you ask for the absolute bare minimum, but get the user customers in. Start providing service for them, and it's easy for them to figure out what the business is and why you're asking for it. And if you couch it in an improvement in the service that part of user experience you wouldn't necessarily have if you value them, then, you know, while it's couched with real trust and real honesty, you can virtually ask for anything that's available within your graph. So here's an example of a much more friendly screen. This app is explaining what we're doing. The Deep Dive Kids app on iPad. The description is very clearly saying, follow
iPad applications for your children. And the request is the absolute bare minimum. Basically, this is what you need to do to install an application on Facebook. And then you throttle the rest of the requests
to improve the services
by asking things in a timely way. So, you know, if you're, for instance, trying to create a recommendation system that's based on that user's friends and what they're interested in within, say, the book space or the film space, you can ask that and you can couch it within, it will help improve the service. It's actually one. Okay.
So, now I have an overview of how permissions should be called. I'm going to jump into what kind of data is available in the Open Graph. So, here is a list of things that you may have all liked. And what we've been looking at, specifically within our space, is mainly couched in form data. And the thing that's really, really opened our idea is, you know, you have this something that user has shown you before, is that basic permissions
For an application that we've launched. And we now have access to who he's friends with, his likes and interests, and potentially his other actions on other apps. So if we are looking to set up a new movie service and we want to figure out if someone has been on Flickster or Rotten Tomatoes or MoviePilot or any of the other, IMDb, any of the other innumerable services out there that are also connected to the social graph, with a timely permission call, we can basically port in Peter's entire movie-going history on other sites. So you don't have to build a large community to start really, really understanding what your users are interested in when they come to your page. We can also start to figure out who Peter's close to. So your average user on Facebook has about 160 friends. Not everyone is going to be someone that's going to influence that user. So it's very, very important we start to figure out, you know, out of this context, who potentially would be of relevance to Peter if they make a suggestion, if they like a book, or they're interested in going to see a film, or they want to play this game. And with Facebook and permissions tools, you can start to figure out who within Peter's group of friends is, you know, a distant connection from, you know, an old school charm colleague who hasn't been in contact with for 15 years, and who is someone that he's contacting regularly. And bearing in mind, on social networks, what we do within social networks mirrors what happens in real life. So if you're communicating with someone regularly on social networks, you're probably also communicating with them regularly in day-to-day verbal exchanges as well. And it's a very, very good indication of who has influence over you. And again, going one step deeper with this, with the right kind of permissions calls, you can ask Peter to reveal information about what his friends like on other apps to do with movies. In which case, you can have someone who's joined up to an application, has a friend on another app, and you can swap movie preferences between the two of them without them having to install the same app together. So there's a huge range of possibilities that can happen. So there are a lot of benefits with this. Being able to pinpoint individual interests is obviously very, very important right now. The idea of having portable profiles, people don't have to fill out long bits of information about their movie preferences, their book preferences, it just comes with them. Being able to gather that information together into into doing some kind of cluster analysis, finding out how people influence each other, how people influence each other within groups. I'm going to get up to this. Within groups, and how groups and individuals obviously influence each other. That's the potential of the open graph. And the main benefit to your users is it gives you the opportunity to present your information through the lens of their tastes, and to provide them with information about what their close friends want to interact with. And again, here's an example from the movie world. Here's a movie application that Peter has signed up to. You know, out of the 20,000 potential movies that get released, movies and documentaries that get released each year, you could streamline 6 choices from Peter that you think are right, that the app thinks is right for him at this time, framed in reference of what Peter has interacted with on other applications, and what Toby and Keith, Peter's really close friends, are interested in seeing as well. So we've got a little demonstration. If you want to log into this application here, this is a little game that we've built that kind of identifies what your friends are listening to right now. I'm not 100% sure it works on iPad, so I've created a video demo just to run through it. When you're on the page, there's a box that allows you to select how deep you want to go into a level of friendships. If you adjust that number from 3 to 1, it'll work much more quickly. So, everyone got the URL? Ready? As I said, we've got a short video demo, lasts about a minute. So here is the developers app that we've created. If you change this depth reading to 1, it will work much faster. 5 is the level of layers of friends that you're going through. The app will calculate who your friends are once you've given permission, probing the songs that they're listening to, and sharing the open graph. And once that's finished downloading, you get a list of current songs that your friends are listening to with their friends at the time, with friends' faces next to it. And this is, very simply, this is just a new way of a new and very simple way of introducing new bands to yourself, right? Okay, I know Radiohead, but I don't know who it is. I didn't realize so many of my friends were listening to Daft Punk. And the Rolling Stones is still a bit of a hit amongst mates. So, that's literally just scratching the surface in a small application.
So sorry, the layers deep is like mentions from your friends as well?
Yeah. Sure.
This information that people have obviously said is public. So when I log into Spotify, I can customise whether I share that public or share it only. These are just people that only made it public.
That's right. Yeah. And that's a very important point you're making about the permissions. Facebook permissions only allow you to have access to what you allow the app to do. So if you're uncomfortable with anything, you don't have to give that permission. This whole idea of staggering. In the old days, you click Facebook app or Facebook Connect, and you got a very rude permission screen without much of a description about what the app did, asking for a bunch of things from you. Now, you can stagger, you can choose to take on a service and maybe not give access to a friends list or the ability to share information from the application, or very minimum is this basic information request that should work. That's what we need for the app. But after that, it's just depending on what you'd like to do.
And did that work just using the basic permission?
No, that one there required a people level of permission to go into it.
sorry, I know you didn't want questions till the end. Just one very quick about the artists that were listed there.
Yeah.
Was that artists that people have liked as in via a page, or things they'd listened to using another app?
That's things that people have listened to using Groove Shark, Spotify, Last.fm, any of these music applications that are signed up to the Open Graph. And those users have permission those applications to release that information. So, taste is a very mobile thing, right? So we have this idea of the like button. But you might not necessarily still like something 2 years down the line. You know, it changes. You know, there are bands that I was crazy about 2 years ago that I probably going to see today. And that's basically one of the key things about the Open Graph, is the fact that it matches your tastes as you keep on going. So you get a very dynamic picture of your user, a very interesting understanding of what's influencing them right now and who's influencing them right now. So, using applications gives you this ability to get users to sign up to your application, which then allows you to get a much richer picture about what that user is interested in at this particular time. All the key behaviors within your website, your mobile device, your fan page application can also be recorded. So, for instance, again, couched within the idea of movies, you can see that this guy's liked a lot of horror movies within your website or your mobile device, shared a lot of movies, what he wants to see, and also if there are games associated, how he's played, how he's scored. And this allows you to pull up a very rich picture on your user to then start tailoring how you present your content to that user going forward and how you target your communication to them. So I think we're approaching an age where large brands will be able to move away from this broadcast platform-based mass email to individually tailored bits of communication that are specifically relevant to those users at the time that they're interested in receiving that content. And that's really the future. So, we've set up a group today on Facebook. It's called Fans for Brands. We'd love you to join and continue the discussion. We're going to be putting up all the presentations here, the videos from the day, results from the workshop, networking with your friends, and let's see if we can get a very interesting debate going.